Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing another entry into the Foundation Friday series, and we are going to be covering the Estee Lauder Futurist Hydra Rescue Foundation. A new release here in Canada. It launched the middle to end of February, and it launched last year, I believe last February, so February 2020 in the US market. Lauder, there's a great shade range, and I'm going to spoil a little something now, but after the 5 days of wearing this with or without a primer, I'm in love with this foundation. I love the color, I love the wear, I love the ease of application. So if you want to know more about this, stay tuned. And also don't forget, at the end of the video, I'm going to share with you some little mini reviews of some other fun products, and in this situation, some brushes that I tried out this week. I'm excited to share the foundation and all those other little fun goodies with you. So keep on watching and let's jump into the video. I've already primed my face using the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer, and I'm using the Estee Lauder foundation in shade 1 into Ecru. I'm going to be using the IT Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe number 7. So I like to just start by kind of dotting it around and blending out. And this brush makes it so quick and easy to blend out pretty much any foundation I've used with it. So here it is on one half of my face. So I've got it applied to the left side of my face, so coming closer. So you can see one layer has gotten me pretty much medium to full coverage and compared to the other side. So the shade is more yellow than I normally go for, but it's really good at kind of neutralizing the redness in my face and bringing harmony to my neck, chest, and hands. So there we go. Like, it's a really easy and beautiful foundation to apply. Go ahead and apply my concealer, and then we're going to let those sit in and we'll talk about the primers. For my concealer, I'm using the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer in shade Creme Brulee. I'm just going to use the other side of the IT Cosmetics brush. And I like to kind of apply the concealer in 3 dots. So one in the middle of my eye, one at the outer corner, then one on the inner corner. And then I'll go back and start applying my foundation with and kind of press to marry those together. There we go. So one side with concealer, one side without concealer. Swirl my brush in and then place 1 dot under the middle, outer corner, inner corner. And I like to almost tilt my brush upwards and go right under where the round of my eye is on the bottom, and then use my brush to kind of blend those 2 colors together. And I always like to go up at the outer corner, so imagining an invisible line going from the lower corner of my eye where it lifts to the tail of my brow, and that helps just kind of lift my eyes a little bit. Let the foundation warm up and kind of melt into my skin. I'm gonna go on and tell you about the primers I used this week. So the first day I did not wear a primer. It was just applied over my Roche-Posay Anthelios sunscreen, which is the only sunscreen I used this week. And without primer, this foundation wore for a solid 12 hours, which I was thoroughly impressed by. Day 2, I used the last little bit of my Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer. It's done for. I've used all of this up, and it's such a great primer. It's really good for helping keeping excess oil at bay, smoothing the look of pores and texture. It helps to add a level of water resistance to your makeup, and it has an SPF 15. So really, really like this one. I made it to about the 16-hour mark with this primer, and everything looked really good. Every day I try this, around the 12-hour mark, I would get a little bit of settling around my nose. Sometimes, I don't know if it's just like the current weather or what, but with any foundation I've tried for the last few weeks, I get a little bit of dehydration on my chin. But that's been happening with every foundation, so I'm not holding it against this foundation. I squeezed what I could out of this mini of the Tatcha Luminous Silk Liquid Canvas Primer. Really great. This performed almost identically to the way that the Hourglass performed. I actually just reordered this in the full size, and I am so excited because I love this primer so much under so many different foundations that I've tried it with. Day 4, I used the Beauty Blender Leveler Primer in light medium. This gave me the most radiant finish of all of them, and with it being the most radiant, it was still a naturally luminous, but it was slightly more luminous than, say, moisturized skin. This is a really, really great job at smoothing the look of pores and texture. This gave me the shortest amount of wear time. However, I still made it safely past 12 hours. And I believe at like 12 and a half or 13 hours, was creasing around the nose. And there was a little bit of settling right here in the kind of smile line area. But other than that, no big issues. And this was a great one. And I love how smooth this made my skin look. And today, which is our day 5 of testing, I am using the original Tatcha Silk Canvas. So this is more of like the balm consistency. Really good, very, very smooth effect. It's luminous, not quite as luminous as the Beauty Blender was, but this is just a great primer I can use on my face, I can use under my eyes. It's just a really good smoothing effect primer, and I really, really enjoy this. The trick with this is don't use too much. Instead of using the little scoop that it comes with, I'll take 3 fingers, kind of rub it in, and I'll go around 4 times. Rub between my fingers and then press and then pull out. Some people have trouble with this one. I find you have to use just enough and spread it out really evenly and warm it into the skin. But so far, this is phenomenal. I love how it looks. I'm gonna finish off the rest of my makeup and I will be right back. All the makeup is on, and let's go through a review of the foundation and mini reviews. I have loved doing these mini reviews so much because it really allows me to talk about more than just the foundation without having to do whole separate videos. So quick, easy speed round. Let's check out a few other things I tested out throughout the week. The thing I tested out was this NARS highlighter in the shade Capri. I have it on today. What I like about this is it's a really neutral kind of pinky rose gold. It's more on the kind of neutral to slightly cooler side. And what I like is it gives you, it's that nice kind of in between a dramatic highlight and a subtle highlight. So you get a little bit of bling, but it doesn't emphasize your pores or your textures. And I love this highlighter so much. I have the NARS matte bronzing powder in the shade Velarda. I just kind of have it kind of through here, forehead, and a little bit into my outer corners. Nice bronzing powder. For me, it's definitely going to be more of a spring summer because even though it is neutral, it is slightly more on the warmer side. So for this time of year, I prefer something more on neutral to cool side. So this one will be a great one come summertime and spring. I love this one so much. This is the NARS blush in Behave. This is a beautiful kind of a satin matte neutral mauve pink color. I have it on today. I love this, especially for kind of, as if you watch my other videos, you know I love to transition kind of my blush and bronzer together to meet the skin. And I always like to add a little bit of kind of burn to my bronzing. So this gives that perfect kind of, you're not quite burnt, you're not quite tan, you're just kind of that naturally sun-kissed. And for me, I love this color so much for that, and I'm so glad I have this in my collection. I wanted this, I couldn't find it, it was sold out, then it came back in stock, and I finally got my hands on it. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter Luxury Eyeshadow Palette, and this is in the shade Star Aura. There you go. So you've got your kind of prime, enhance, define, and smoke shade, or I think it's smoke and define, either one. It is such a, here, bring it in like this. I love it. It's what I have on today. The first time I put it on, my husband's like, that's a lot of nothing. And I'm like, it's a beautiful nothing. For me, it's like that perfect kind of like no makeup, or like I woke up like this kind of like eyeshadow palette. It just does all the feels for me. And then Like with this, you could really create kind of like that no makeup smoky eye, almost like your eyes are naturally smoky. Love this, so happy to have this in my collection. The NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer in the shade Creme Brulee. You watched me apply this earlier. Really like it, it's a really nice one. It's not hydrating, but it's not drying either. And it gives a good coverage. What I like is it kind of helps to lessen the kind of indent I have under my eyes, so it creates a slightly smoother look, and I really, really enjoy this. After about between hours 9 and 10, sometimes this can look a little kind of dry in this innermost corner of my eye, but if I put like a more of a hydrating or a smoothing primer under my eyes, this is great, love it, and I am so glad to have this in my collection as well. The NARS Afterglow Lip Balm, and mine is in the shade Fast Lane. It's just a nice kind of like mauve-y, sheer, kind of neutral pinky color. I really like it. It's very comfortable. It's not necessarily hydrating, but it's not drying. It's a really nice kind of tinted lip balm. It doesn't last forever on the lips. It wears off fairly quickly. So if you're looking for longevity, this isn't gonna be one I suggest for you, but with applying mask, taking mask off, it's a good, easy one to keep in your bag and touch up throughout the day when you can take your mask off. That is it for the makeup that I tried out this week. These came in the other day and I had to try them out right away. I've been so curious to try them out, and finally it was Angie from Hot and Flashy who inspires me or influences me to buy so many different products, but she talked about these brushes. I bought them and I love them, but I bought the Wayne Goss eye set. It is really good. So my eyes aren't big. They're slightly downturned, slightly hooded, and compared to like some of my other brushes, like let me grab my here. So the Wayne Goss 17 versus my Morphe M330. So you can see that it's slightly smaller than the Morphe, and the Morphe is already a pretty small brush, but the Wayne Goss brushes, they're just so small, so compact, and they make doing eye makeup so easy for precision. I ordered mine off Beautylish. They are a little bit more pricey, so a set of 5 brushes was, I think, $176. They're great, they wash up well, and from the reviews I read, they should last forever. So very glad to have these, and I feel sorry for the rest of my eye brushes because they probably won't get used much. Estee Lauder Futurist Hydra Rescue Foundation. I have the shade 1 and 2 Ecru. I love this. It looks good. It's very smooth. It wears all day long. And like I mentioned earlier, it doesn't really crease or settle at all. But I notice a tiny bit right in the corners of my nose, and that's normally around the 12 to 13 hour. And I'm so glad this is available in Canada. So I believe this launched back in February 2020 in the US, but we did not get it until mid to end of last month here in Canada. And I'm so happy this is here. I love it, love the way it wears. I love this color. So as you can see, like when I was applying it, it looked a little too yellow. And now that I have it on, it's settled in my skin. It's just that nice kind of neutralize the pinky red tone of my face and blend it with my neck and my hands. Love this. I'm glad to have it. It does have a little bit of a fragrance. The fragrance is closer towards the bottom of the ingredient deck. So if you're sensitive, then maybe skip it. If I really pay attention to the scent, it reminds me a little bit of like a lily. So it's nice, it's subtle, it's like a soft floral. It's nothing like some of the other scents that Estee Lauder has in their products. So I like this one. I recommend it, and I think it will work for so many different people. Only people I feel like might not like this are, like I said, those who are sensitive to fragrance or who are avoiding fragrance in product. If you were looking for a really matte finish, this isn't going to be for you. This is more on the natural finish to a natural glowy finish. It can be kind of balanced out by what you put under it or what you put over it as far as what the finish goes, but baseline, this is more of a natural luminous foundation. It doesn't do really anything for oil control, but that's one of its claims. However, when I got oily, it did not break down, and that's something that many other foundations do. So this is a huge win. It also does have an SPF 45. However, you would need, I think, you would need around 11 pumps to get the full amount. And if you're using 11 pumps of this a day, you're gonna go through it very quickly. And that's gonna be a very heavy, very pricey foundation. So put sunscreen and kind of forget what's in the product, because you're never gonna really wear enough to get the amount on the bottle. Hope that review of the Estee Lauder Futurist Hydra Rescue was helpful. Like this week for me, the foundation, the Charlotte Tilbury eye palette, and the Wayne Goss brushes. These were like my standout products. All the NARS products were phenomenal. They were great, but it's just something about these three that kind of just surpass the bar I have. These are the three. If you were gonna run out and buy anything, I would suggest these. Only downside is, I believe this is around $57 Canadian. This is around $66 for the eyeshadow palette. And like I mentioned earlier, the brushes are around $176 here in Canada. So they're all more on the higher end side as far as cosmetic purchasing go. I mean, they're not the highest end, but they're more expensive. So if you're looking for an occasion to treat yourself, or you want to invest in some great products that will last you a while, I highly recommend all three of those products. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. It means so much, and I enjoy doing these videos, writing the posts, so I can help all of you navigate this crazy world of cosmetics and beauty a little bit easier. If you haven't already, I would greatly appreciate it if you like this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the notifications, because it helps my channel grow. And also leave comments down below. Let me know what other types of videos you would like to see, because I want to make sure I'm delivering content that you want to see. So thank you. That is going to end the video for today. Thank you again for spending your time with me, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.